When I decided to do a video log, I knew one day I would have to do a slow motion, black and white, overly dramatic video introduction, showing things like me sitting staring at nothing on a bench, or me walking around the gym pretending like I didn't know the camera was on me the entire time, taking deep breaths, staring at the weights, being by myself all the time for no reason. These are the things people come to expect when they watch video logs. And I'm a sheep, so I thought it very necessary for me to follow this trend, even though it's incredibly lame. This is my video log. Watch it, or you'll fucking die. For real though, if you don't watch it, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill your ass.
Work it, make it, do it, makes us harder, better, faster, stronger.
That don't kill me, can only make us stronger.
Yo, so what we got today is a little bit of a fill-in workout. I haven't been able to train any leg stuff in the last sort of 2 days because of a bit of a setback with regards to my knee. I haven't been able to bend my leg the whole way. It's nothing serious, I just need to wait for the inflammation to go down, but it's kind of frustrating. So what I've had to do instead is basically fit in a few other upper body days that aren't going to inflame that too much. So I'll probably do a bit of a mix. Remember, with my program this time, the target is like arms, lats, and I haven't done a whole lot of volume for chest in this program. When I lean out a bit, my chest actually sits out pretty well. So from a physique standpoint and from a strength standpoint, it's not really a weak point for me personally, but I'm going to do some bench press in this one, just because it serves sort of a dual purpose. For starters, I don't have barbell bench in my program at the moment, so it's not going to be a movement pattern that's going to get in the way of the other ones too much. And it stands as a good triceps movement as well. I'm going to do it off 2 boards. So if you don't know what that means, it's where you're resting 2 sort of wooden boards on your chest. So when the bar comes down, they touch on the wooden boards, and it cuts that bottom part of the range of motion off. Tends to make the movement a little bit more triceps dominant. For me, I'm doing it because I'm starting to sort of reconstruct my bench press to make it a bit stronger. One issue that I find I have is when I get to the bottom, I lose control of my positioning a little bit. Something, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, I'm about to do a bench press tips video, which will be on the YouTube page a bit later this week. So we're going to kick off with a bit of barbell bench press, and then I think I'm going to move into some neutral grip chin-ups paired with neutral grip pull-downs. So we call that an origin insertion superset, where you're targeting the same muscle group, same movement pattern, but in one of them, you know, say the chin up, the origin is up here on the bar, so we're actually pulling up to it, and then the other one, the origin is down here, so we're pulling it down to us. Tends to target the muscles in a different way. I find it's a pretty potent way to really get that muscle burning. So, hope you enjoy the video. I'll chuck a few tips in there as I go. You might notice on these neutral grip chin-ups that I'm doing that I'm actually stopping a little bit short range of motion wise. So 99 times out of 100 for people when they're doing chin-ups, the way we recommend it is to build the chin up so that you can go from full extension, retract shoulder blades back and get it to touch on your chest at the top of the bar. But obviously we have different tools, different horses for different courses. What I'm focusing on in this workout is more of a direct time under tension stimulus for my lats in particular. So it's more of a bodybuilding sort of focus, which means less weight and more mental focus on actually getting that lat muscle, which is that one that goes down there, to switch on. So when I'm doing my pull-ups on this one, I'm trying to think as much as I can on not using my biceps, and rather than pulling using the back and biceps and stuff together, I'm trying to relax through the arm and actually thinking of just using the lat to pull those elbows back and then back, controlling back up again. So to finish, got some direct biceps work where I'm doing a Zottman curl, which is we're going palms up on the way up, palms down on the way down. So you sort of get a bit of a mix of head of biceps activation from the regular curl, and then brachialis and brachioradialis activation from the reverse part of the curl. And then I'm pairing that with the trap 3 raise, which is something to target this mid-back region. Do that purely because this workout we're doing chest, which is going to be tightening these muscles. We're doing biceps, which is going to be tightening that long head of the bicep and pulling your shoulders forward. And we're doing lats, which even though it's a pulling movement, the lats actually attach to the front of the shoulder. So if you get tight and overly developed through the lats, it'll pull you in even more. So to prevent us leaving the workout like this with bro posture, we're trying to target that mid-back. This is going to allow us to keep our posture a bit stronger. So shoulders by our sides like that rather than turning forward. And then I'll finish with a little bit of pec stretching before I go, just to finish undoing that. So Topman curls, trap 3 raises, 3 sets of about 11 reps on each, and then some pec stretches to finish. The reason I put in all these explanations of what exercises I'm doing and why I put them in there is to sort of get across the point that a good training program should have a rationale and a reason specifically for why each movement or each lift is a part of it. If you ask someone what, they give you a program and say, why is this here and why is this here? And they're like, well, I don't know, I just put in a bit of that stuff. It's okay, it's better than nothing, but it's probably not good enough. You need to have a reason for each lift if you want it to really be of benefit for you and to know where you're moving towards. So in my opinion, a good training program should have some sort of long-term planning or periodization. It can be really basic through to really in-depth, but you should have some plan for your different training blocks, your different training programs, how they fit together and what you're trying to finish at, what the end goal of a certain training phase is. They should have movements involved in it that are the most effective. So if you've got a training program that doesn't have any pressing, any compound movements in it, it's all bands and machines or something, it's probably a shitty training program, even if they're targeting the right muscles, because you're choosing exercises that are inefficient. So you should have quality exercises as part of it, which just comes with knowing what you're talking about as a trainer. You should have some sort of plan for where it's going, and each movement that you put into it should have a reason for being there. Like I just said, I've got X amount of lat and bicep work because I'm trying to target them with a certain volume of training each week. I've got the trap 3 raise in here to target the mid-back to make sure that doesn't become a weak point. I've got the pec mobility at the end for that reason. I've got the 2 board press to rebuild the stability and the comfort at the bottom of my bench press. There's a reason for every movement, and I do that with every program I write here at Stronger. It needs to have a reason for why I put each exercise in, or it's a shit program as far as I'm concerned. So even though I waffle on a bit about every single part of my program, I only do it so that people get a good idea about why I'm putting them in for myself. You might be able to take some of that and add it to your own training program, and just to get across to you that an effective training program is not just something that looks cool on paper or burns. It should be something that's targeted to the individual who's performing it to make sure that they're going to get the most out of it and to know where they're going.